Hi, guys and gals. I am just getting set up. I am running a little late. I took a nap. I worked last night, of course. So I took kind of a later nap than I normally take, and it kind of threw off my schedule a little bit. So I definitely slept through Halloween. I was planning on staying up and handing out candy, and I was like, I'll just lay down for a second. And a second turned into a lot of seconds. And so I have Halloween candy that I did not pass out, which means that I get to eat. Stop it. My cats have been fighting. I don't know why. Um, because they're cats. Um, oh, so I have a bunch of Halloween candy that I have to eat because um, I didn't hand it out. So, oh, woe is me. We are keeping the trend with our Sunday night in the woods. Hi, I'm LyriLee. If you're new here, welcome. We're just gonna hang out, do some voices, do crimes. All right. And let's see if I can remember where we're at. Oh, yes. Okay, so we just failed at our last required song, which was Pumpkinhead Guy. We did Harfest, which was their version of Halloween, and we saw some guy that looked to be kind of maybe supernatural take a kid and run off with him, and we tried to tell our Aunt Molly, who is a cop, and she didn't believe us, and we got into a fight with our mom, but we also made up with our mom, I believe, by now. So let's see. I think that about covers last episode. We fed our baby rats stolen pretzels, and they grew into regular rats. And can you see my cats running around in the background like maniacs? Because they are definitely running around like maniacs. I have the spray bottle next to me, but I'd rather not chase them down right now. Okay, so I think that about covers it. We went to band practice and we told our friends, hey, I think I saw something, and it might be a ghost, and we think we feel him, the ghost, in our heads. And they kind of gave us that look. And then B suggested that maybe we do some sort of research trying to figure out where to go from here. So this is after band practice. We're at the library now with B. Look, Jobs. Weird. Like, when this was painted, it was like, hey, look out the window. We're all working. Things are great. Now it's like one of the graffiti murals after someone gets shot or hit by a car. This mural is really affecting you. I forget that we live in separate realities. Mine is clearly better. Hopefully that's not too loud. It's a little loud on my end, but... Oh, I can't jump. Oh, and I should probably... turn off emote only chat. Can you hear my cats being ridiculous? There we go. No bounce zone. Correct. And look, my chat is working again. Who knew that that could happen? Because it broke last time. And then I missed my Tuesday stream. I had a gigantic test for my DNP pathophys class, and I just couldn't fit everything in. So I did record the very tail end of Hive Swap. If you look under all videos, you can see that I've uploaded one. It's just like 35 minutes or something. It's just the tail end of Hive Swap. I'm also going to turn this down a little bit since it's paused anyway, because it's kind of blasting in my face. But it is up. We will start a new midweek video game. I haven't decided exactly. Honestly, I've put a disturbing amount of thought into what game I should play next, and I'm not really sure. Alright. Oh, we also get to hear the best poem ever, by the way, at the end of our little library adventure. Our librenture. Hey. Closing in 2 hours. Okay, cool. Any idea where the microfiche is? Microfiche. Microfiche. 3rd floor. Okay, thanks. Up, up, up. Can you talk more? Slow night? Yep. Spooky here, all alone? I'd be spooked. Oh, that was May, sorry. I'd be spooked. Larry's wandering around here somewhere. The infamous Larry. Very boring elevator. I want to bounce. Let me bounce. Looks like someone left something open on this one. It's a resume. Bob Targ. Born 1967. 50 years old. Let's see. Experience. Mining, construction, well drilling. I never think of getting a job when I'm old. 50's not really old. I mean, you should have money then, right? Ideally. It should be like guaranteed. Should be guaranteed in general. You gonna join my young socialist chatterbox group? Holy crap. What? It's Charity Barity. What's Charity Barity? How do you not know Charity Barity? I assume this is something from school. The school of being 5 freaking years old. Alright. So, was this a thing you liked as a kid? No. I hated Charity Barity. It does look really hateable. It was like you were kidnapped by a cult. You were under some curse. I like Kidnapped by a Cult. And when they were like, and then they were like brainwashing you instead of some cult guy with a wavy dagger and a magic mask. That's not... Okay, yeah, go on. Instead of that, it was this effing pink nightmare. You were scared of it. No, I was bored to death. It was talking forever about, like, being kind to others and, like, I don't know, helping an old neighbor do engine repair. What? That sounds nice. Charity Barity helps old Mr. Plonko fix his hovercraft. Ugh, no, that's the worst part. It always rhymed. Charity Barity, Pink Nightmarity. Charity Barity, I just don't carity. Geez, they sure made a lot of these books. I think they're still making them. This one looks pretty old. Charity Barity, danger everywhereity. That's vague and disconcerting. Could have just kept updating that one book. Is that all I got to say? Apparently. You can't bounce, you can't run. We're almost to the microfiche. Going up. I think this is the top floor. Oh. Oh, wow. It's dusty up here. It's old up here. Sure is. Oh, sure is. Maybe your ghost is up here. Yup. Ghost. Or something. Whatever he was, he walked through a chain-link fence. Or flew over it. Or something. While carrying something. Alright, well, that's even more impressive. So we're gonna find this guy. Because he took someone. And he's like somehow connected to this thing I've been going through. And that's not good. That all sounded a lot more badass in my head. It's okay. It was fine. Just take some time. Hello! Alright, there she is. Cool. So, I have no idea how to use it. Really. I can't know how to do everything. I'm sorry, but what expertise have you brought to this thus far? This whole thing was my idea. No, your idea was ghost hunting. My idea is to do at least a tiny bit of research on it. If you think it's so stupid, why are you here? Because you're my friend, you asshole. Aww. Aw, we friends be a twist. Here, let me get this set up. We'll be here all night if your dumbass is in charge. Alright, so what are we looking for? That's very bright. I want to steer! No. Move! I'm steering! Ow! Jeez, May. I'm sorry. Okay. How do we do this? No. Step 1, look at the screen. Step 2, move around and look at stuff. Step 3, find ghost. Sure. Alright, so you can actually get a little bit, I won't read all of them because there's a lot of them, but you can get a lot of history here. Like, they kind of talk about it with, what is her name? Your grandpa's friend. Anyway, she talks about, like, the mining strikes and stuff like that. You can talk of, or, like, you can find some of this stuff. There was, I wish I remembered it a little better. The miners strike because they want better safety and stuff like that, and then the National Guard is called, and then I think a couple of the guards are killed, or a couple of the miners are killed. So, 20 dead. See, like, I think this is one of the things that made them strike. 3 men have been pulled out alive along with 20 dead. Last trolley will make its run. Okay, so let's do what we're supposed to do, I guess. Oh, here it is. Possum Massacre. Severe violence broke out at the Stafford mine strike today. The bosses arrived to attempt to renew talks and were taunted by some of the children present. Rocks were thrown at the National Guard and strikebreakers opened fire on the crowd. After a few minutes, the smoke cleared and the gory scene was revealed. 9 miners are dead, with a dozen more injured. A young brother and sister were also shot dead as they were delivering a package of food to their father and uncle who were on strike below when the shooting broke out. The photograph of the 2 children, aged 7 and 9, who were shot in cold blood has circulated far outside of our little county. The heinous act that led to a personal visit from the governor to the strike site to meet with strikers. Independent inspectors were also brought in and talks finally began 45 days since the start of the strike. The bosses have agreed to comply with current safety standards and to honor the demands of the miners. So, there's where I wish they would talk about this one. This is interesting, but yeah, not exactly about a ghost. I didn't know you could click on any of them. That's strike. There we go. We'll do what we're supposed to do. I already take long enough at this game. Local ghost, Little Joe, at it again. Oh, look! Scooch so I can see. Graveyard, that's a gimme. I mean, if you're looking for ghost stuff, that's where they make a lot of them. Looks like they saw him in the old section. Oh, cool, that's where his grave is. I'm actually interested in that. How could you not be interested? It's like actual dangerous ghost stuff. I like history. Ghosts are history. History that won't stay history. That's actually pretty good. It is pretty good. I liked that line the first time that I heard it. Our school children are quick to inform you Possum Springs has at least one resident who won't show up on any census survey. Excuse me. Little Joe, purportedly the ghost of Joe Shade, a miner who died in mysterious circumstances some decades ago, is a favorite spook story for the whimsical and weird members of our community. His most recent activities seem to involve getting up out of his coffin in the old section of Possum Springs Cemetery and strolling around, unnerving visitors in the largest graveyard in Deep Hollow County. His grave has become a destination for unruly and often destructive youths, and as such, Possum Springs City Council is considering erecting an iron gate to protect the historical tombstones that fill the small hollow where Joe Shade lies buried. Police have also stepped up the patrols in the area, so be warned, thrill seekers. You may not see a ghost, but you may see a fine for trespassing. I can still hear my cats fighting in the background, so it's fantastic. Underground gases. Strike lumbers on. Sound off. Opinion line. We would like to remind the men of our town to please refrain from spitting on our sidewalks. This unsanitary habit is unseemly and beneath you. Parents, please be sure your daughters are not participating in the new trend of skirts showing the ankles. I do not need to remind you of which road of brimstone this temporary fashion trend will lead your daughters down. Oh no, ankles. Here's one. Hey, hey, hey! Ghost spotted! Historical Society. History that won't stay history. In a history place. History place. Yeah, I've never been. You didn't go back in school. I think this was when I wasn't in school. Oh, after the softball incident. Yeah, mostly just watched TV and did therapy. Well, it's actually a pretty cool old house. Used to be owned by one of the mine owners or something. Railroad, mine, steel mill? Something like that. An actual haunted house! No. Elementary school kids are there all the time. They have, like, summer arts and crafts programs. Oh, well, still worth checking out. I guess we could read it. The Possum Springs Historical Society's conversion of the Shrigest House, sorry, I probably slaughtered that, into its new headquarters and education center has hit a snag. Custodial head Jed Newsom has resigned, citing strange occurrences in the old manor. I'd be there after hours doing my work, and I'd hear someone walking around trying doorknobs. I came out to see who was fooling, but there was never nobody there, said Newsom, trying to get this map room operational for the children, all while I'm looking over my shoulder expecting to see God knows what. Mr. Newsom had previously requested to work only daylight hours when other staff were present in the building, but even that proved to be too terrifying. I don't go to the off-limits area anymore. I don't go up past the second floor, and then only into the office. I know the others left, but say I'm seeing Little Joe or something, but they can all go spit. Okay. Little Joe, for the uninitiated, was a local ghost story popular some years ago. The Possum Springs Historical Society has refused to comment on Mr. Newsom's claims at this time. Boop, 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 boop. More strike stuff. More mine stuff. Another sighting of the albino groundhog. Progressive Springs in Possum Springs. Piracy. They should have just left it piracy. Did we already look at this one? Yes, we did. There should be 3 of them. Am I dumb? I might be dumb. That's the Historical Society. That's the end of that. Oh, here it is. Possum Jump. Hey, look at this. Yeah. Looks like Possum Jump. Let me read it. It's Possum Jump. Okay, yeah, that's back up in the state park, right? Yeah. Ever been up there? Nope. Gonna check it out, though. Go nuts. Okay, well, that's like 3 leads. Let's boogie. What's boogie? Also, is that it? You can hang out and look at more stuff, but I think that probably we should move on. 3 clues. We got 3 leads. You're a regular detective. May Borowski, a detective of ghosts. Alright, let's go. So, we've got some leads. Can I borrow your car this week? Do you even have a license? I mean, no, regardless, but do you? Nope. No license. No credit cards. Don't believe in money. You just believe in other people's cars and money. I didn't choose to be born into this society. Okay, well, I have, a job. So I can't drive you around to all of these spots. I can maybe do the graveyard. I need to go there anyway. Cool. I'll see if Greg wants to do one of the other two. Or wants to do the other two. You know, like, and I probably don't have to say this, but just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. Hey nerd, ever heard that history repeats? It does. It does the same thing over and over again. So we've just been in a loop since we were living in caves. Yeah, that's science. Oh my freaking god. Oh, this is cool. So if you tell them no, you get to listen to like their little poetry club. If you tell them no, May is super rude to them. Ahem. What is that Miss Quelcy? Oh wow, I haven't seen her since graduation. She was always kind of a badass. School district did not fund that art program at all, but she made it work. She was like some sort of art teacher survivalist. Wow, I never realized. I think they pay her in bits of string and empty soda cans. Thank you all for coming to this second meeting of the Possum Springs Poetry Society. Oh, that's her. I'm sorry. Do you want to stick around for this? Yeah, let's listen. Tonight we have new poems from myself and Fisherman Jones and Selma Ann Forrester. I will start us off with one of my own. She's from some big city, right? They don't actually pay her in string, right? I haven't seen this one. She's from some big city, right? Yeah. How'd she end up here? Who knows? Ahem. Letter to my worst student. To my worst student, the subject of my stories, I tell friends back home, when they ask about life, out here in the sticks, it's you. I worry. At the end of my life, you will be the only one I remember. Why did you keep my car? I know it was you, Brian. Thanks, everyone. Is that legal? Poor Miss Quelcy. At least she's blowing off some steam. Next up, Fisherman Jones. Remember he was the one who was like, wife is gone, kids don't care, tunnel fish are always there, something like that. Two poems. They're short though. 2 poems. Take it away. Duh. Hi folks. Thanks. This is called Tunnel Eels. Tunnel eels, tunnel eels. I do not know how it feels to be in darkness all the time, born in muck and raised in slime, but neither do you know paths I've trudged, so it hardly is your place to judge. Okay, that's one poem. The next one's shorter. It's called Tunnel Frogs. Tunnel frog swims in the dark. Must think it would be a lark to be a fisherman like me. But what do you know, amphibi? That's it. That's great. Thank you, Fisherman Jones. Dude is really worried about what those fish think. He definitely talks to the actual fish. Dude is really worried about those fish take. That tunnel always spooks me. Finally, a poem by Selma Ann Forrester. Yay, Selmers! Woo! Thanks, May. You know her. Dude, she's like your neighbor. Oh. She writes these really fun, dorky, short poems. I'm up for something short and funny. This is called There's No Reception in Possum Springs. Ha ha ha. She's not wrong. It is a long poem. Okay, let's see. No reception here. I wave my black phone in the air like a flare, but like a prayer, but no reception. I read on the internet, baby face boy billionaire. Phone app sold made more money in one day than my family in over 100 generations. More than my whole world ever has. World where house buying jobs became rent paying jobs, became living with family jobs. Boy billionaires. Money is access. Access to politicians, waiting for us to die. Lead in our water, alcohol, and painkillers. Replace my job with an app. Replace my dreams of a house and a yard with a couch in the basement. The future is yours. Forced 24/7 entrepreneurs. I just want a paycheck and my own life. I'm on the couch in the basement, and there, in the house and the yard. Some night I will catch a bus out to the West Coast and burn their Silicon City to the ground. Holy shit. Wow. Damn. Huh. She rhymed entrepreneur. I don't even know what that word means. Thanks, everyone. Is she always like this? No. Wow. Huh. Thanks, everyone. See you in 2 weeks. Hey, Selmers. Why? I liked your weird poem. Thanks. I wrote it myself. Wait. Was the assumption that she didn't write hers? Nice work, Selmers! Smelmers. I don't like that nickname! What are you two? Sorry! It's cool! Can we go now? Okay. Thanks for coming. We live here. Right. So, find out anything about your ghost? Yeah. Tell him, B. There were some newspaper clippings that talked about a ghost. Not just any ghost. Little Joe. I don't really remember Little Joe. He's a ghost miner. He died under mysterious circumstances. Wow. I know, right? Mysterious. I thought you were, like, afraid of this ghost. Like, filled with dread and shit. I'm terrified. Okay. So, it mentioned 3 different places we can all check out. I have work and stuff. Yeah, Greg and I also have work. You guys skip out on work all the time. Maybe we can, like, split this up. Share custody of you and your ghost. What places were you thinking about? The graveyard. I call that one. It's close and not illegal. Is there an illegal one? Sure is. The Historical Society. You know, you don't have to, like, break in. The people there get paid to show it to you. Anyway, I'm in for the Historical Society. Awesome. So, what did I get stuck with? Possum Jump. I know Possum Jump. We used to go there in Scouts. Perfect. Okay, I need to, like, actually get home and do work. This is gonna be awesome! And also, I'm scared to death! Selmer's a good poet. Thought, if I die, Selmer should write a poem about it. I don't think we really have much in the way of new things. Greg rules, okay? Halloween, Harfest. This is the picture that she wrote, or that she drew, of the guy. And for the longest time, when I look at that profile, it looks like there's a little pig nose. And so I've been looking for a pig, until the last couple playthroughs. It becomes a little bit more evident what is going on if you're really paying attention, unlike me. Yeah, seems like that's going around. Yippers. So, you and Mom had a bit of a fight yesterday, huh? Yeah. Thought you two were getting along. We were. We are. We are. Just a bump. You two, always two alike. I guess. I got your chill and her smart assness. I just hate to see you two on the outs again. It'll be fine. We're cool. So, we're having money problems? Oh, and remember, you got into a fight with your mom, and you find out that they might lose the house. They did like a reverse mortgage, and now, or some sort of loan refinance or something, and now they owe the bank more money on their loan to the house than it's worth. So, they're in trouble financially. So we're having money problems? What? No, we're fine. Dad. May, it's fine. It's okay. I'm 20. I can handle it. Nothing to handle. Okay. Might just head up to bed tonight. Sounds good, kid, but a long couple days. No, I want to hang out with my dadder. Fine. I wonder if the new working clock downstairs thinks this clock is scary. Big old thing upstairs. Like you, but different. Huge and spooky. Making weird noises at night. Oh, I can't find this thing spooky. It's a piece of Granddad. We need more of those. Birds asleep. Nothing to check over here. See what they have to say online. It feels like a lot longer than a week since I last played this. I don't really know why, but it does feel like way long away. Bright Harbor Post. Is autumn secretly killing you? Probably. It's got my allergies all in a tizzy, and I feel like I'm dying pretty regularly. Hey, let me know when you want to hit the cemetery. I should be around most nights this week. IDK. Thanks, B. Don't thank me too hard. I'm going there anyway, and it's like right down the road. You're ruining this. Oh, in that case, you are so incredibly welcome, and you better not forget this big favor. That's more like it. I'm falling asleep. Had fun tonight. Sorry if I was grouchy. It's just... It's fine. Wait. Did you fall asleep? Lol. Yo, I looked up the Historical Society on the internet. It's real old, but when they did big renovations... But then they did big renovations. I think I read that wrong. Oh, really? I mean, listen, I'm not saying there's a ghost, but old stuff that just got torn up seems like ghost central. How so? You're a ghost hanging out in an old house, and then someone puts a pool where you died or something. Haunted pools would actually be scary. I'm spooked. I'm going to bed. Hey, May. Let me know when you want to go to the park. I looked up a map and it's a pretty straight shot up to Possum Jump. I almost said Possum Springs. Okay, great. We never really get a chance to hang out. It'll be fun, I think. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Good night, sir. Chip's hat. Alright. Hey. Okay, I'm done playing with that. Bedtime? Yes. Take off my little booties. Do we have a dream tonight? Some nights you dream and some nights you don't. It's a dream tonight. Oh, this is the really big one. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it pretty well in the capture. There's like people floating upwards. Or outlines of people. Oh, and a giant ghost fish. And spooky music. There's the sax player. Can't remember how far over this goes. Can I go over here? Nope, guess so. Well, this building is going the wrong way. Oh. See, that little orange orb is showing me where the musician is, which is nice. Because some of these, like this area especially, is very large. Some of the first ones are not very big, but ones like this are pretty big. I have to go back up. Oop. Can I jump on that? Nope. Yes, I know that it's over there, but I can't get over there yet. Oh, here's one. Yeah, they all have like, pretty much all of them have like a cityscape built into them. They have like, almost all of them have the yellow windows and whatnot. If you remember the last one, which is honestly my favorite, is the one where the city is like a train. Like if you go down, if you're up here, it just looks like rooftops and stuff, but you go down to the bottom and it looks like a train. I can't remember how to get back up to the other side. Must be over here. And there's always like crazy moons and stuff. This is the first one with like weird fish floating around. So there's our last musician, I'm pretty sure. So I think headed back down to the... Oh no, it's up. I'm glad that it tells me because this one is big enough I get a little lost in it. So we're going up there. How do I get up there though? Ooh. Well, that probably wasn't the right thing to do. I need to go up. Let's fall off of the side of this building. Maybe it's from the other side. Nope, there's nothing else to climb up over here. But I didn't see anything the other direction either. That I could reach anyway. I'm missing something. Oh, that must have been what I missed last time. So that I could get up there. Bounce, 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 bounce. Ah! Rex is here. He redeemed a hydrate. I think I know where I'm going. But it would be nice if I got the little orb that told me where I was going, just so that I knew for sure. I think it's up one more layer, but I can't remember for sure. Bounce, 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 bounce. I haven't seen it in a while. Unless it's been over in the corner where my face cam is and I just can't see it. Haha! That was totally a guess. Uh-oh. This one is a crane of some sort. And it seems to hurt May. Like, if you watch her as she, like, as the animal comes up, she, like, rocks back and forth and then falls on the ground and, like, curls up into the fetal position, and then she kind of dissolves as she wakes up. Alright, that's enough of that sleeping. Oh. So now we get to make our decision, I believe, today, which place we go. We can only go 2 of the 3 places, so we can only do either B's, Greg's, B, Greg, and Angus all have their own, and they are all different, but you can only do 2 of them. So you have to decide whether... No fall damage. There isn't any fall damage, not even in regular. There is a part where you can die. It's not till the very end, though. Away message. Planets are not to be pitied, as they cannot know how big and cool they are. Dr. Kathy Conklin, National Astronomy Agency. Dude, my mouth tastes weird this morning. Like a tire. I'll be at work, trying to wash it out with whatever's in the cooler. Ooh, 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 ooh. Last night inspired me. For longest night, I'm getting you a library card. You're welcome. I love this charcoal. Charcoal. Let's go talk to our mommer. Anything to say about that? Nope. Nope. I want to see a bird. Hey, bird. Sorry I'm always rude to you. Nothing to say about the books. We already looked at the clock. Morning, sunshine. You feeling okay? You look a little limp. Yeah, weird dreams. Weird night. You say weird a lot. Just being honest. You taking headache meds? They're in the bathroom cabinet. Yeah, I am. They're kind of working. Kind of not. Well, maybe you need some more sleep. I mean, more than the 10 or so hours you already get. You've always been my sleepy girl. Oof. What did you do last night? Went to the library with Bee. That sounds nice. It was. Weird. Interesting. Okay, gotta go. Be safe, hon. Take it easy. You really do look a little tired. Getting out makes me feel better. Yes, mommers. Me too. Maybe it's a good day to get out in the fresh air. I'll let you know. Bye, sweetie. Can you talk to her again? Nice and sunny today. I hate rainy days. Just want to never leave bed. I love 'em. Nice and gray. Sun's too bright sometimes. Need some cloudies. Gloomy little eel you are. Eels, Mom. Eels, honey. Alright, I'm out. Bye-bye, sweetie. Oh, we love our mommer so much. I think my chat stopped working again, which is great. I don't know why that's a thing that's happening so much. Normally, I have a chat box that is supposed to come up in the upper or lower right-hand side of the screen. And it works sometimes, but it doesn't... It seems to choose when it works and when it just doesn't want to work anymore, which is great. I really love that. Because I do upload these to... I upload them to YouTube so that I can keep them, so that if you ever want to watch them again or whatever, you can. And... Or if you just need a long playlist of nonsense so that you can ignore me and, you know, do your thing. Just some background noise. Anyway, like, the chat doesn't show up unless it's on the screen. Like, so I just look like I have maybe schizophrenia or something, and I'm talking to myself when I react to chat if it doesn't actually pop up on the corner, so... It's frustrating. Looks like Chazikov is not up. Nothing to say about the statue. There's a dude up there. Hey, duder. I can't jump on this? Hi, bro. Hey, little girl. I'm a legal adult. Oh, sorry. Who are you? Oh, you're a lady. Oh, I'm sorry. Liz, I used to live here. Where? This building, right here, before you were born. Why did you move away? Went to school. Wandered off, I guess. Do you like it better where you live now? It's nice. Possum Springs is nice, too. I think it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, pretty alright. When I was a girl, about your... I'm 20. height. Luckily, I'm not short enough to where like people comment on my height anymore. I was always the shortest person, like growing up and in school and stuff. I was always like the shortest person in class because I came from short stock. My parents are not very big people, and so I was always really tiny. And then um, in high school, like everybody else hit their growth spurt. Girls, hit their growth spurt in like fifth, sixth grade. I got to wait until freshman year of high school. I went into freshman year of high school at like 4'11" in my freshman year, at like 5'4", which is where I stayed. So nobody makes really well. Okay, some people make short jokes when they're around me, but the lower edge of average, so I don't get the little person jokes, but I do get mistaken for much bigger than I am. I used to you would come. You never want someone hanging around outside your window. Not magical evil statues, at least. Yeah, nothing evil or magic should get that close. I live in an attic. No one can get to my window. That's good. Not even vampires or warlocks or skeleton men. I'm glad we had this talk. Me too. See ya. Alrighty then. Ooh, spooky clothes are back. Ooh. Wonder if squirrels ever steal undies? They might. You don't know. Let's go talk to the guy who has a nervous dog that poops. I play a mean banjo. Clawhammer. Really? I play bass. We should play together sometime. You know Long Black Veil? Yep. You know Tom Dooley? Yep. My dad likes that stuff. You know Willer Garden? Nope. Eh. I don't think I got that guy's voice quite right. Hey, Selmers. You were great last night. Aw, thanks. Having you to bounce ideas off of helped. I am good for that. Want to hear a new poem? Sure. This is a short one. Because I'm tired. Me too, so that works out. I got mad one time. It was online. I've been mad on the internet before too. It's crazy making. Oh, that was her. It's crazy making. What were you doing at the library? I go to the library. No, but seriously. Okay. We're just not going to finish that discussion, I guess. You're gonna make my dog anxious. And she poops a lot when she's anxious. It's one of the best lines in the whole thing. Let's go down the tunnel. Let's see what we got going on. Rosa, that's her name. There's the poet guy. Methinks I spy a tunnel shark. Scary monster in the dark. Holy crap! I didn't really see it. Please don't listen. We can't steal pretzels anymore. Aw, Miss Rosa isn't here. Hup. Oh, this is another new thing that they added. It does take a lot of time. I hadn't decided if I was actually gonna have you guys do this with me or not. Because it is a time commitment, and I take a long time because I'm a sucker for all the extra stuff. Let's go check around, and before we do, I'll decide before we, you guys can pop in to chat if you have strong feelings about seeing the. It's like how do I explain it? So you get to see like where that tunnel goes. That's actually a river. That tunnel that has like the water down at the bottom. That's a river, and you can go and kind of like see where all of this stuff has happened, and you get old junk and stuff. Like it does add something, but it's not very central to the story. It's just something that you do that's one more thing to enjoy about the game. Hey, you never told me why you were feeling down the other day. Do I gotta tell you everything? No, just asking is all. Well, ask someone else. Well, that's not very nice. Manly men never thinking that they need to talk about feelings. Manly men need to talk about feelings too. Everybody's got feelings. It's better to be honest about them. Nothing over there. Remember that Rosa, I can't remember if I talked about this yet or not, but Rosa talks about the AOK drugs and malt in one of her stories. It's hard to keep track of what I've said and what I haven't. Because a week goes by between. Let's pretend that I didn't fall off that, and let's look at the screen that doesn't have the lag. It's our favorite guy! What's in the news? Yam shortage this Thanksgiving. Oh, geez. We need yams. Better get them now before they're gone. There's gonna be, like, yam riots. Because not enough yams. Worse reasons. Wow, that one was kind of lame. Can I get up there? That was not down, game. Oh well. We don't want to talk to Angus yet. Let's go talk to Mom, and then we'll talk to Germ. And we'll check for Lori. I think were we up there already? I can't remember for sure. But we'll check for Lori. Lori M. And see if she will take us back out to the tracks today. See if Bruce is here too. And Pastor K. Saint Rubello, whatever his name is. Getting kind of cold, huh? Yeah, nip in the air at night. I like fall when it gets cold. Me too. Real pretty out as well. I used to cry at the fall trees when I was a kid. Why? Because they were so pretty. I did that when my daughter was born. Do you have a daughter? Yup. Where is she? Sorry. It's fine. So he probably doesn't know where his daughter is. Which is sad. Oh! Apparently we know her. Hey, Jen! Hey, May Borowski. Yeah. What are you doing back here? Does Greg know you're back? Nah, just here for a day. Had to pick up some stuff from Greg's mom. Hauling back to school tonight. Ah. I wonder if he's her... I think it's his cousin or something? I don't know that they ever specify. Didn't you go to school? What are you doing here? Dropped out, kinda. Dropped out, kinda. Sorry to hear that. Whatever. What are you going for? I want to do fashion design. Is that a job you can get? Theoretically. You still go crossbow hunting? Greg still does. Kinda. Yeah, I still hunt rabbits and stuff. Nothing big. No thing big. Don't get much chance at school. I was shooting at that tree over there. Then I noticed there was a dude sleeping behind it. So I stopped. Oh yeah, that's Bruce. He's nice. I'm just glad I didn't accidentally put a bolt in his face. Oh yeah, that'd be bad. Well, it was nice seeing you. You still see Greg sometimes? Oh yeah, all the time. Well, tell that cousin of mine. It's his cousin. Tell that cousin of mine he needs to come out and see me in Bright Harbor. Oh, yeah, will do. He's not leaving here? Oh, I don't know. I think he should. Guy's gotta spread his wings. Maybe his wings are just fine here. Nah. Greg's too much for this town. Haha, no argument there. See ya. Take it easy. Jen! Greg's cousin, okay. So, if you notice, in kind of the subtext, May is not exactly thrilled that, Greg's leaving. Greg and Angus have plans to go to Bright Harbor, which they don't really specify, I guess, how far away it is, but I get the feeling that it's kind of a hike, and that she won't get to see him as much, and kind of depending on. That's one of the things about the Greg path. B is definitely kind of more in your situation, I guess. Like, she has family here. She seems to be kind of stuck here. You're going to, like, you can tell that May needs her parents. She doesn't have a job. She seems to be trying to kind of figure out what she's doing with herself, but so the more natural path, I think, is to hang out with B, because Greg already has Angus, and they have these plans to leave Possum Springs, and Possum Springs kind of seems to be where you're going to be. It worked again. Anything over a half an hour drive is an all-day affair for me. I don't blame her. So I drive, because in the place I'm at, nurses are paid really poorly. I actually drive about 3 hours round trip every time I go to work, because it's just ridiculous. I know that there's some stuff happening around our area that maybe the nurses will get some fairer pay, but until then, I'm kind of stuck, and it's stuff like that that makes this game hit a little harder for me. It talks about, how wages are unfair sometimes, especially in small towns, and it's hard to make a living. If you look back at Selmer's poem, she says, things like that this guy sold an app, called him like Baby Boy Billionaire, sold an app, and makes more money in 1 year than 100 generations of her family. Like, you go from looking at buying a house and having a yard to maybe renting an apartment to maybe living with other family members, and that's definitely, I think that anybody can realize that has become a much more common thing, because the good paying jobs are kind of few and far between. If I hadn't gone back, nursing is not my first degree, and if I hadn't gone back and had my parents help me go back to school for nursing, I don't know what I would have done. I really don't. I was just lucky enough to have the safety net of good parents that loved me and believed in me, and I have I'm at least a good enough student to where I can actually uh, like succeed in a really hard program like nursing, because not everybody can do that. It's a very, very hard program. It's hard to get into. You have to pass a bunch of very hard prerequisites. You have to keep your GPA above a B. There's all kinds of things that could keep you from being successful there. So I understand that I am really lucky and that I have kind of shaken that, but it took until my, early 30s before that happened. So, and I don't know how to make those show up on on the screen. I'll have to figure out how my little redeemy things show up. I will drink in a second. I will stretch first. Stretch. Notice my very cool shirt. Very cool and very dated shirt. Make It Rain. And that's the Song of Storms for Ocarina of Time. I'm a nerd. Anyhow, back to the game. Sorry. I just really love this game. And I think that it ties into small town life and whatnot quite a bit. Which is what I've mostly experienced. Hey, you free? Maybe. Want to go on a quick adventure? Don't you have a job? Past is gone. I'm gonna skip out. Aw, yeah. Let's skip work. Only I'm skipping work, hun. Oh, hush. I'm an accessory to the crime. Also not a crime, sweetie. This is kind of fun. I don't think I've ever been up here. We used to come up here all the time. Did we? No, as in my friends and I when we were your age. Oh, okay. I'm not used to you using any other Wiis. Believe it or not, I've had several Wiis. Huh. Get to hang out with Mom. This is nice. Used to be a lot more trees up here. They got cut down when they put in the towers. I don't remember that. You know, all kinds of things happened before you were born. What? Some minor parts of history took place. Yes. Wow. You jumped really high. So, what is this place? Jenny's Field. Ever heard of it? No? I don't think. Back in the 30s, there was this woman and her daughter walking here. And the woman's daughter is out in front of her. And then she's just gone. Disappeared. What happened? Turns out there was a sinkhole that opened up when a pillar collapsed in the mines in the hill. Jeez. Yep. No one could see it because of the grass. Her name was Jenny. This is Jenny's Field. They never found her. Just go on. So wait, why are we here? What, you not up for a little risk taking? Daw. Mama's giving you a hard time. Ah! What's wrong? I thought it was a sinkhole thing. How about that? Okay, what is that? reason, before Unified pulled out, they bought this old lime furnace up on the mountain. Why? Who knows? Unified did a lot of things. Looks like it's been here forever. It just sunk into the ground a lot. Like Jenny, but slower. We used to climb up there. Wanna try? Oh, sweetie. I had you and a lot of birthdays and donuts since then. And not much climbing. So, good thing this chimney's sealed up here. Yes, good thing. What can you see up there? It's been a while. Possum Springs and most of the valley. The highway. Let's say this one. This one seems nicer than the highway. What does it look like? A quilt. Like someone dumped out some blocks. Sure. Sounds about right. I think she says that regardless. I remember I couldn't tell if being up there made everything feel bigger or smaller. It's a weird feeling. Yeah, I know that one. I used to have a dream when I was your age, where I was in the big parking lot out by the tracks. And I'd start running, but there was always more parking lot. What do you think that meant? I don't know. Feels weird to tell you what your dreams mean. Why? You're my mom? Fair. Why did we come up here today? Well, I was hoping you'd fall into a sinkhole, obviously. Well, that didn't work out. Drat. Guess I'll just have to keep you. I couldn't see what your expression was when you said that. Do you need to? No. No. Well, see you at home. Hey. Aw. That's sweet. And then you get her page filled because you've done a bunch of stuff with her. I wonder... I don't think you can do it quite yet, but we'll double check just in case. We went into the sanctuary and the pastor wasn't there, and your mom even says that that she's gone, and that's why she gets to wander off. Darn it. We'll keep checking. It does eventually open. Let's see. Let's do germ, and then we'll decide if we want to do the fishing boat thing. Maybe we'll do at least one fishing boat thing, and then you guys can kind of see what it's like, and you can kind of sound off in the comments if you like it or don't like it. I've already been streaming for an hour and a half almost. This game is so fun. That dog always tries to scare me. Germ. Forgot what I was doing. Because I'm an old lady. The snailkin. Oh, another person to talk to. Do I know you? No. Oh. Aren't you Greg's cousin? You really look like his cousin. Not his cool cousin Jen, like the other cousin? No. Who are you then? Why are you here? I'm trying to find your city council. Town council. We're a town. Right. Why are you looking for them? Supposed to be demoing an infrastructure and municipal services management program. What? Helps you manage things like snowplows and broken hydrants and stuff. Oh yeah, we have those sometimes. I just figured it'd be helpful. I don't know, lots of places are just scared of new things. Just want to keep things like they are forever, falling apart. It's frustrating. You are really into this, huh? I mean, it's my job, so. I had a job. I bagged groceries. I actually bagged groceries at one point, too. One of my many, many things that I have done in my life. Could you program something to make that job not suck? Well, soon it's gonna be all robots anyway, so. Jeez. Yeah. Huh. I got it. You're Donna's cousin. Yeah. She used to babysit me. Oh, wow. Are you the kid that killed a bird with her mace? It was an accident. And I was like 9. I thought it was perfume or something. I thought the bird would like it. Well, you were 9. It died like instantly. Just. Ah! Oof. Dead. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. Good luck. Dramatic. Try not to kill anything. No promises. Ack! Womp. Dead. Alright. I really wish that you could go in and hassle Steve Scriggins. Let's see what Germ has to say. Hey. Hey. What? Want to hang out? I got plans later. Okay, well, I don't think you're gonna get kidnapped or anything. Yeah, sure. Hop on my bike. Really? Where is it? Tied up behind the food donkey. Guess you could, like, run behind. Okay, fine. Is he really gonna make me, like, run behind him? You sure your bike's gonna be safe? Yeah. I don't think anybody's been in that shed for years. Sorry you fell off. It's cool. I feel so alive. Scrapes are cool like that. Skinned my elbow. Hit my head pretty hard. I skinned my elbow. They can, like, ride you to the hospital for this serious wound. Put the siren on. So, what are we doing here? Do you trust me? Sure. Really? Yeah, I guess. Okay. Bye. Oh my god, Germ! Oh jeez, dude! Hey. What the hell, man? Jump, it's fine. Oh, for real? How I jump down? Oh, here we go. I forgot she falls on her face. You can just lay there for a while if you want. Dude, you scared me to death. Why? You jump off big stuff all the time. Yeah, but that's like in town, nice flat ground. Not like I can just go jumping off cliffs or whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot. You grew up in town. So, what are we doing here? Hey, come here, Lit. Wanted to show you something. Are you showing me the sewer? You hang out at a sewer pipe. Are you showing me the sewer? I thought you'd be interested. Saw like 10 rats down here once. Okay, that's pretty cool. Can I? Oh, okay, there we go. I can't tell what that says. Okay, talk to him. Okay, so I started coming down here a few months ago to like just hang. Okay. And I noticed. Oh, hey, Rabies. Ah! Rabies is my sewer friend. Its name is Rabies. His name is Rabies. His name is Rabies. I found him when they pulled that body out of here after that big flood a few months ago. Oh, neat. He was sad and wet and hungry, so I brought him chips and ice cream. Sounds right. And I wanted the other possums not to pick on him, so I named him after something they're all afraid of. This is the best story ever. He's so rad. Hey, Rabies. Speak. Herk. I don't know what sound possums make. That might be accurate. Do possums say herk? Oh my god! He's gonna rule this whole ravine someday. You be nice to me, okay, Rabies? I love him. You got any pets? I got some rats downtown. Sweet. So there's like weird stuff on the walls in here. Ancient cave paintings. Not new, at least. What do you think it means? If you sleep here, you might drown. Rabies is Trash King. Oh, both of them are good. I think last time I said Rabies is Trash King. It's a pretty good one. It's a prophecy. Written by ancient hobos. There's like all kinds of secret places like this around town. I'm like the only person to really map the... Hey, Rabies, what you got there? Oh my god! Is that a fiasco bar? You want me to unwrap that for you, little guy? Holy effing crap! He is the best. You should take him home. No way. He'd like pee all over everything and dig a hole in the wall and live there. Oh yeah. Rabies is wild. Let him be wild. Look, he's eating it. Rabies is Trash King. See ya. Oh, we fell down. Go. Oh, I thought we wrote about rabies. Maybe that's later. I think you have a couple times when you see rabies, so very cute. We can see if there's any train people here. Oh. How did he get over this thing? I can't jump that. No way he could have. There's no hole. How did he do it? I mean, I guess he really could be a ghost. I think he's a ghost. Ugh. What's out there? Alright. I guess we'll go see, we'll go do one of the, fishing boat things, and we'll see how that is. If it's super boring and you guys don't like it, then we won't do it next time. I don't think we get another chance at it until a while from now. So. Boink. Nope, 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 nope. Oops. I get so excited about jumping. Alright, let's go talk to this guy. Oh, maybe oh, okay. I was like, did I... Whoa, hi down there. Ahoy there, May. Ha ha ha, is that Mr. Salvi? What are you doing on a boat? In the tunnel. In the late afternoon. What are you doing home from school? You answer first. You answer first. It's my side hustle. Salvi's Salvage. What's that? I'm a junk man, May. Are you not mowing lawns anymore? Oh no, I'm still doing landscaping. But I'm also a purveyor of fine goods. For the discerning antique enthusiast. Okay, side hustle, yeah. Wanna come along? Boat ride back into the tunnel. Gonna be a short trip today, but might be fun. Sure. This probably isn't smart. It's pretty safe. I just need a second pair of hands. Usually I take one of the kids over there. Hey, teens. I'm going on this boat now. Just saying, like if anyone should ask. Got on this boat with Mr. Salvi here. Okay, thanks. Is Mr. Salvi kind of like suspicious? Like, is this a little sus? What was? Okay, let's go. Ooh. Yeah. And lots of folks from somewhere else drive past between Fort Lucerne and Willow Grove. And they like going out to the antique shops here. I think they think it's exclusive or something. And that's my side hustle. Wow. Do they know it's garbage? It's not garbage. Sorry. Here, we're coming up on one now. You'll see. If you couldn't tell, I am controlling the light. This is garbage. It's an island of garbage. Your garbage is my priceless antiques. Once it's cleaned up a bit. Look around, find something. Is this thing safe to walk on? Oh yeah, years of sediment and rocks and junk. Ha ha, you called it junk too. Find anything good? Nah. Okay, so... Oh wow, it's a thing. A sled? Really bad boat? Maybe you could, like, sleep in it? Tiny garbage hammock? Should I take this garbage bed? No. Eh. So you get choices. Huh, big axe. Do I want a big garbage axe? Heck yeah, I want a heckin' garbage axe. It's so big and axey. Garbage axe, garbage axe. Find anything good? Killer garbage axe! Oh, nice. Looks like an old fire axe from somewhere. Axe murderer garbage axe! Yes, you could conceivably murder someone with this. Have to sharpen it first. Oh, I'll sharpen it. Planning on murdering someone? I keep my options open. Oh dear. And somehow he'd run over his own foot. No. With the mower. Yeah, he's got a limp now. But he still comes to work. Jeez. Gotta work. Woof. Remember how I said I needed a second pair of hands? Oh yeah, what was that about? So there's a little panel back there where you are. Gonna need you to move it up. Gonna need you to use it and move this light up here. Are we? Wait, why? We got bats down here. So, I don't like bats. But bats like bugs. And bugs like light. So you're gonna shine that light all around them and get them to scatter. Looking for bugs. They mostly go away for a while when they scatter. Oh, okay. Now get ready. We're coming up on a place they like to cluster together. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Up above me. Okay. I'm up above you. Oh, there's some. Yay, bats. Wow. Did most of them leave? Think so. Sure were a lot of them. Oh, I hate them. But bats are cute. They are. They are not. Can I take a bat home? Ain't no bat getting on my boat. Sooner swim back than have a goddamn boat on my bat. Bat on my bat. Bat on my boat. Okay, okay, okay. No bats. No bats. Alright, we're coming up on another island. Garbage hole! Do I have to do the light thing? Okay, nope. You gonna look around? No, I'm gonna hang out on the boat. Of course I'm gonna look around. You're sarcastic like your dad. Do you still talk to my dad? Oh yeah, get my beats from him once a week. Last fall, us and some of the boys from the factory days went up to Stutter's old hunting camp. You get anything? Ed got a 6-point buck. Oh, nice. Alright, let's go. We've got a schedule to keep. Bounce, bounce. What's this? Oh my god! It's a coconut monkey! Like the one Granddad brought back from Hawaii. Do I want this coconut friend? We're gonna wait. It's kind of stinky and soft. What else do we have? What is this? Holy shit! Dracula teeth! These are so rad. I could totally be Dracula. Of all the false teeth in the world, Dracula teeth are like the best. She could be. Should I take these excellent Dracula teeth? Blah! No. I feel like Dracula teeth from the garbage heap might not be... I mean, this might just be my nursing background talking, but I feel like you shouldn't put things in your mouth that have been in a garbage heap. Okay, you know what? Okay, yep. You got it. Why do Dracula say blah? I'm going to put these in and find out. Should probably clean them first. Yes, mate, you should probably clean them first. With a lot of bleach. For Halloween. Germs do not take Halloween off. Let me just tell you. What's the worst that could happen? Death. Death is the worst that could happen. A painful death, I guess. Find anything good? Dracula teeth! Oh, wow. I remember these. They still make them. Now there's a market that never goes away. People will always want to be Dracula. I don't want to be a vampire. No choice. I'm gonna put these in. Oh god, please don't. They're disgusting. Gonna bite ya. Alright, let's keep going. Ah! And that's how I saved Longest Night. Wow! Did you ever tell your kids? What? No, it spoiled the magic. Did they ever notice your next scar? If they did, they never said nothing. Did the cops ever catch the guy? Oh no, he's still out there. But he ain't coming back anytime soon. Wow. Great story. Bats. Where are you, bats? Alright, we're coming up on another bat's nest. Do bats have nests? Whatever. Get the light ready and shine it up there and get rid of them. Aye, aye, sir. Here they come. Look at them. They're so cute. Wow. Did most of them leave? Think so. I got them good. Whew. Thanks, kid. I'm 20. Well, at my age, that's plenty kid enough. Rude. Coming up on another island. How many of these are there down here? Oh, I ain't counted. Seem to find new ones all the time. And lose old ones. Spooky. We're pretty far back now. It's always a bit spooky. Hydrate! All of the Diet Coke. I'm gonna have to take a break and grab another Diet Coke. I'm almost done. Whoa! Old trolley car over there. Yeah, we're getting close to where the flood really hit the hardest. Can't imagine this place still up and running. Was quite something. Had a sense of going somewhere. Yeah. Way back when they got these new trolley cars, they were designed by some company overseas. Big and fancy, like France or something. They are pretty. Yeah, they still got their charms. You gonna look around? Sure. So they talk about the flood a couple times, which I really enjoy. Oh, huh. Wonder how old this is. It's pretty soggy. What sport even is this? It's a sports mystery. A worst kind of mystery. As a nurse, I do wish that I knew more about sports. I can talk about a very specific time frame of football that I followed when I followed pro football, but other than that, I'm just kind of like, yep, that sports team, go local sports ball. So now, I do really wish that I followed some sports. The worst kind of mystery. It's pretty, though. Do I want this thing? I don't know what it is. I can't tell. It looks just like a sliver. Let's see what else it is. I think the helmet. It's gross, and I don't care about sports anymore. I think the helmet is the other thing. Oh, nice! Football, our official religion around here. I could totally wear this. It's functional. I could totally wear this in the winter in case I slip on ice. I could wear this if I was in a fight. Could probably stop a bullet even. I don't know. It smells inside though. Do I want this thing? I think I got the helmet last time. Let's go with the mystery. It's functional, but Maybe I should go with the sports mystery because I haven't seen it before. Yeah, let's go with the mystery. Do I want this thing? Yeah. Could hang it on the wall. That'd be pretty neat. Then I'd look up and then look up what it's even for. Cool, cool, cool. Find anything good? Check this out. Oh wow, that's an old hockey pennant. How old? Like really old? 1970s, 80s? Oh, that's like medium old. We had a hockey team back then? Sure did. The ice arena used to be out by where the Ham Panther is now. Jeez. So much stuff used to be here. Lots still here. But yeah, lots gone. See what I mean about this taking a while? Like, it's a long sequence. And I think there's a couple of them. Any more bats to get rid of? Nah, they don't come back this far to sleep. They fly around a good bit back here, though. Unless you clear them out before you get here. Where even are we? Almost to the far platform. Oh wow, is that where we're going? Well, you got rid of most of the bats back there. So maybe we can make one last stop? At the big one. The big one? Thank God I wasn't down here when the flood hit. The river jumped, right? Yeah, flood was bad enough. River just up and moved. Had something to do with the reservoir too, I forget. I guess it was a while ago. Weird to think that rivers can move. Oh, they're always moving, kid. 20-year-old. They're just usually moving in one direction. No one's really prepared for when it stops doing it. What it's always been doing. No one's really prepared for when it stops doing what it's always been doing. Gotcha. Alright, here we are. The big one. He sounds a lot like Dad. Sorry. My male voices are not very varied. Wow. This looks like something I dreamed. Or something. It's familiar. Some ways. Back then, they thought the trolleys would stay on the track, come a big flood. But nah, they went right along with the water, bobbing up and down, crashing into big piles like this. Jeez. Can't fix something like this. What are you gonna do? Dam up the river? Dig this whole thing out? Nobody got that money. Nobody got that time. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is like visiting someplace beyond the grave. Like where you go when you die. Some folks did die down here. Oh, yeah. Were there like people on the trolleys when that happened? Ooh. Sorry. Fall time allergies. Sorry about that. You gonna go look around? Have to say, not much back this far usually. Most stuff washes in from the side channels. Gets caught up. Back where we came from. Yeah, I think I'll still look around. Bounce, bounce. Spooky. I wonder what this used to lock up. Really old lock. Pretty neat key. Someone bought this to keep something safe. Or secret. Do I want to take this? Not right now. We want to see... It's just junk now. I got nothing to lock up anyways. I want to see what else there is here. Oh yeah, there's like a tuba. Wow! Wonder if it still works. Probably clean all the mud out of it first. Do I want to take this? Do I want the tuba? Or do I want the lock? I got nowhere to put it. And I can't play it. Also, I feel like some horn-playing ghost is going to haunt me if I take it from here. Haunted horn. It just plays itself at night. I don't know that I've taken the lot. I don't remember what I normally take here. They do, spoilers, I guess, but they do kind of show up in your room, I believe. Yeah, let's take this. It's really pretty. It should have someone to appreciate it. I wonder if what happens if you try to take them both. Can't remember. Do I want to take this? More than the muddy horn? Okay. It's just junk now. And I got nothing to lock up anyways. Alright, I think this is the end of this first one. Find anything good? Horn. Looks like a pack horn, maybe? I'm gonna clean it out. Maybe play it. Or at least make it make some noise. Good plan. It's real pretty. Shame to leave it down here. You rescued it. I'm a hero. I'll call the papers. Oh my gosh, this takes so long. Here we are. Wow. Where are we? Oh, that's right. This is kind of cool. So this is the other side. Like, it looks like the tunnel that we start in, but this is the far tunnel, and this is the other part of the mural. Remember the one that got defaced? It says like New Possum Springs. So that's it. That's the other mural. It's so... Yeah. Yeah. Basically the only thing back here that survived the flood. I just think that it's nice that it's not gone. Yeah, I guess. Forgotten maybe, but not gone. Well, not forgotten yet. I wonder if in like 500 years, some archaeologist will find it and wonder what it meant. Sometimes, I think in 50 years, no one will know what it meant. Places can't control how they're remembered. They just hang out and then fall apart. Well, that's kind of depressing. You okay, May? Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna look at it for a minute. Take your time. And you can't move right now. She's admiring, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I guess it takes you back. Da-da-da! Thanks for joining me. That was great. I could totally do this as a job. Oh no, a competitor. I'm gonna get me a boat and go find some trash and sell it to rich dorks. That's the spirit. Take care. You too, good luck. Alright, so that took like 700 years, but that is one of the boat scenes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and see... Let's start with Greg's, and then we can decide if we're going to do B's or Angus's. Sup, kid? How's it snacking, Falcon? Just kicking it. Drank too much chocolate milk. And I was throwing up when the light bulb delivery came. I had to sign for it while puking. Jeez, you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Just flew too close to the sun. The chocolate milky sun. So what's up? Just saying hello. You up for smashing some light bulbs? Did you want to check out the Historical Society? Let's see if we can check. I want to smash more light bulbs. See if he says anything. Maybe we can get the 67 cents. I'll look at the right thingamajig. So pure and good. Cathartic. Oh. God damn it. Whoosh. That was not fair. That actually hurt. Get it together, dude. Attack the bull planet. The bat. Use the bat to hit with. You throw sucky. Oh. Oh my god, Greg, I am going to kick your ass. Apparently I just suck at that now. So what's up? Let's go ahead and check out the Historical Society. It is Halloween, and it is a spooky one. Let's go check out the ghosty stuff. Rock on, dude. So excited. Sorry we crashed. It's okay. I'm getting used to it. Is your bike okay? Yeah, I can fix it. I'm handy. It's too bad you didn't get run over. It's too bad you didn't crash into a train. Too bad your corpse didn't get eaten by scavengers. Too bad you didn't get eaten by scavengers alive. So, that's it, huh? Yep. EPA for your improper disposal of mercury-containing lamps. Never been out here before. Me either. Oh, I thought you had a plan? Who needs a plan? We're just breaking into an old house. Crimes. Yep. It looks kinda, exactly like a haunted house. Yeah. Like the one in that old movie. Like the one on the cover of that book. Haunting of Arbor Street. We have an Arbor Street. Yeah. Books spooked me pretty good as a kid. Big evil house. This place looks exactly like it. Well, you're looking for a ghost, right? Yeah. Well, whoever this is, maybe we'll get some info here. It's not like a person, dude. It's a ghost. Right, well, let's go find a ghost. Let's go find a ghost. Ghosty times. Oh, it's so spooky. Rag. Hey, where are you? Over here. Oh, can't jump. Can't run. Can't jump. I want to jump. It is part of my identity. Oh yeah. Found the basement doors. What? are you talking like that? If you say instead of S, it's harder for someone, for example, a ghost, to hear what you're speaking. I have no idea what you're saying. Okay, we're trying to be stealthy, right? Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Thank you. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. We're fine, nobody's here. No lights on, doors are locked. So how are we doing this? You are gonna hold the flashlight. Well, I pick this lock. You can pick locks! I totally forgot! Yeah, dude. This is kind of awesome! It sure is. Crimes, dude. Crimes, dude. Hey, you want to shine that down here? Cool, thanks. Oh my god. What was that? Nothing. What was that? Uh-huh. Hey, more light, please. I hope you guys can hear the rustling sometimes. I can't move it at this point. WTF? Greg heard it. I'm not sure why May doesn't hear it. Let me look! I wanna look! Okay, there's something up there. Told you. Alright, let's finish this. Also, watch my back. Basically do both. I wonder what happens if you fail. If you don't watch his back well enough. Hey you, up there! Friggin' owl. Are you okay? I think so. That was dangerous. I didn't know owls attacked like that. What was his effing deal? So, we're in the basement. What are we actually looking for, by the way? The thing I read said that sometimes when someone stays late, they hear weird things in something called the map room. And in some off-limits area... Technically, all of this is an off-limits area right now. True, dude. True. Oh, you get to have Greg with you! Let's look at this spooky light. Dude, is that like 2 elevators and not like old ones? Block 2. Jeez, maybe this place is all elevators. Weird. Why would you have 2? One for ghosts, one for normies. Private rooftop ghost party with a ghost pool. I hope you get squished by the elevator. I hope your head gets stuck in the door and gets chopped off. I hope you fall down an elevator shaft. I hope you get trapped in a dark elevator filled with water and an angry shark. Holy crap, dude. That's... Ugh. I'm going to take just a second to grab another pop because Greg's voice is really, really hard on my throat. So, just a second. Need to restock my fridge. I only have like 2 Diet Cokes left. Time for fresh Diet Coke. I love that sound. Makes my throat sore. I guess we are at just over 2 hours, so it should be about the point when it starts getting sore. So spooky. I have plenty more that are down on... I just haven't put them in the refrigerator yet. Okay. Here we go. Looks pretty empty. And dark. Hey, where's the flashlight? Crap. I left it outside. Dude! You were being attacked by an owl! Alright, well... I can see okay. Me too. Let's look around. Spook, 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 spook. Let's look at the spiral staircase. Closed for insurance purposes. Caution, stairs not for climbing. These stairs are original to the house and are not functional at this time. What the hell are non-functioning stairs? So are we just supposed to, like, levitate? Huh. Can I jump it? Spooky mystery music in the background. Spooky mystery. Mysteries. Guess you have to take this. Oh, check it out. Elevator number 3. Looks like it's not locked either. Elevators for miles, dudes. Yeah, that's weird. I don't like elevators in real life. I don't know if anybody knows that about me, but I am not partial to them. I will take a lot of flights of stairs before I will take an elevator. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go? Why do I have to go first? It's your ghost. No, I don't like to take them. And besides, the stairs are better for your heart health anyway. Okay, fine. It's not even real. What? Dude, uh-oh. What the hell was that? I don't know. Is someone here? No. Lights off. Doors locked. No cars outside. Okay. So, do you want to go back? Do you have your knife? No. No. And anyway, the basement door locked behind us. Oh, right. Crap. Gonna have to find another way out, too. Hold on, let me add that to the list. Map room, forbidden zone, new way out. This is complicated. Crimes. Crimes. Spooky, spooky. Spooky, spooky. Spooky music. Door. Another elevator. So let's go in the door first, I guess. Dude, this music is intense. Doo-goo-doo-goo. So spooky. At least they let me jump in here. Oh, hey! Possum Massacre! Oh, nice! You remember this, right? Sorta. Not super well. Yeah, there was this big explosion at one of the old mines. Remember we were able to read about that on the paper, like on the microfiche? The microfiche! And it could have been avoided or something. And then the miners went on strike because they were getting screwed and killed. And, like, it went on a while. And other mines and places joined up, like, to be like, you've messed with all of us. That's awesome! Yeah, the bosses and the governor, they sent in, like, soldiers and stuff because they're assholes. And some kid or something threw a rock at one of them, and the soldiers, like, opened fire. Holy crap. Where did this happen? Northwest end of town. There's like a marker for it. Ugh. That's awful. Bosses are bad. Bosses are bad. Weird how, like, we're all supposed to look up to, like, bosses. Just in general. Like, even bad ones. Talking about real issues. Corporate America. Yeah, I refuse. Extremely ditto. It's like, the light's extra spooky. Okay, well, nothing weird in here. Educational, even. I feel like we're getting smarter. My brain is too huge as it is, dude. Gonna pop. If that happens, I'm leaving your headless corpse here. They'll be so freaked out in the morning. Nice. Oh, Ronald, I'm going to open this room for the day. Ah! I say, this chap's brain appears to have burst. Bring me the mop, won't you, Ronald? It's weird to do voices in other people's voices. Holy crap. Is that elevator number 4? How? Why? Granddad would be complaining about local tax dollars right now. Ah. That is not cool. Maybe it's like someone left a phone here, and that's, probably that. Probably. Probably. Crimes. Crimes. You can go up or down. I'm sure that we want to go up eventually. Well, I guess I'm not sure. Let's go down. See where it takes us. Oh, somewhere new. Huh. It's an office. This is boring. Anything interesting in here? Office supplies. There's a calendar. Looks like covered bridges. The one over there's got famous disasters. That's the cool person's desk. Oh, they're still talking about the calendars. The other person is boring. I wonder if they're friends. I mean, you can work with someone and not be friends. Yeah. Maybe this room isn't so boring after all. No, it definitely is. I try to be friends with most of my coworkers. Eventually, they just get exasperated and just accept me as their friend. Because I'll keep trying. And I am ridiculously perky. Going up. There's another elevator. You're kidding me! Elevator number 5. Locked. I think this is as high as we're going without picking some locks, so... Oh, crap. You're kidding... Oh. You're kidding me. Drop the lockpick stuff out back. You're kidding me. I was being attacked by an owl. Okay. Sorry. Can you, like, improvise? Need some pliers. And... You got a paperclip? No. Who walking around on Earth today is carrying a paperclip? Nobody. So, like, okay. Just so I got this straight now. Shoot. Map room. Forbidden zone. Find a way out. Find pliers. Find paperclip. Oh, we were just in an office. I bet there's a paperclip in there. I think that's it. This is so stupid. This is like work. This is all work. Did you hear that? Yeah. Didn't sound like a person. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Okay, well, let's hurry. Spook, 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 spook. What's in here? Oof. I don't know why, but this is spooky. Oh, I can push things. What? Why? I think that's the old food donkey. The woods got... And the woods your ghost guy ran into? Yep. He sure gets around for a dead guy. That he does. Oh, wait. We're in the map room. Well, let's be extra careful. Okay. Crimes. Crimes. Good old towny sentry. Town center, the center of our town. Quite. Hey, it's my neighborhood. Hi, house. Wow, there's a tiny you in there, I bet. Whoa, that's... Sorry, that like made me dizzy. I'm dangerous. Extra spooks. There's the graveyard. And the building we're in right now. Spooky. Spooky. Like we're being watched. By ourselves. Oh, hey, it's my neighborhood. And the highway. No ham panther, though. Must be old. That creepy noise again. In this room. Am I supposed to go look at it? Don't wanna. Oh, it's alive! Geez, that thing's ugly. Well, this was the source of the noise, I guess. Mystery solved. Wait. No. If it was making that noise, that means that someone was in here while we were walking around. Oh. Shit. Yeah, let's maybe go. No, we have to find stuff. Oh. Stuff? Dude, we're gonna get tasered or something by a big, bulking, Historical Society employee? Whatever, I am blaming you if this goes bad. Fine. Fine. I'm sorry, dude. Me too. I'd never turn you in. Me neither. Crimes. Crimes. Hey, check it out! A toolbox! Repair guy must have left it for the night, halfway through fixing him. And hey, some pliers! Oh, cool, cool, cool! I was thinking we'd never find them and just, like, starve in here. Overnight? There'll be people here in the morning. Oh, right. So, we need a paperclip. Let's check out the boring office for the boring paperclip. Probably just find like 7 more elevators. Like it. It feels creepy. Feels real creepy. Don't like it. Run away. Ugh. Gives me the EBs and the GBs on my back. Don't like it. Do we remember? I think it was this elevator. Was there anything else further over here? For the spookies. Spooky, spooky. Spooky, spooky. Nope, that's the end. Okay. Let's go back down. I forget that this is fairly linear. Just don't want to miss anything. Spooky office. Oh, no, wait. That's not the right thing. Did I go down the wrong office? Oh, that's right. You had to go down. I'm silly. Here's the boring office. Other people go on weird ghost hunting adventures, and they're looking for, like, cool shit. Okay, well. Yeah, let's find a paperclip. Pins! Note cards! Phone charger! One of those little hula girls! Found one! Alright, so we got the stuff. Let's go get that elevator open and see what's upstairs. Guess it's gonna guess it's like 12 more elevators. I hate elevators. I hate them. Now we've got to lockpick this one. Alright, we ready to go?
Yeah, for sure. Gonna get to work. I'm gonna, break out of county jail sometime. With these skills.
Dude, what are you going to jail for?
Probably something like this, honestly.
Dude. You need to hurry. I like how my cat just, slunk up behind me. Come on. Alright, Annie. Sit down. Sit. Okay, fine. I'll just work around you like normal. You need to hurry.
What?
Someone's coming. They're in the hallway downstairs.
Crap, okay. I'll have it done in
Oh, God. Dude. The elevator.
Shit. Hurry. There, I got it. Go.
They coming for you. Holy shit. Are we in the basement?
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, that's where that elevator goes. This elevator. Yeah, so
this doesn't make a lot of sense.
Maybe, this elevator is for loading things into the map room. And, they use the other one to avoid the stairs. But even then...
Dude, none of this makes sense. It doesn't look like whatever that is following us down here.
Whatever? Not whoever?
Whoever.
Are you coming around on this ghost thing?
Ghosts don't use elevators.
Why? So a ghost can walk upstairs or something? But elevators are out of the question? That's a fair point.
So the question I have is, where does that one go?
Okay.
Crimes. Okay, just gotta pick this. In the dark. Jeez, sorry. It's cool,
Shit.
I'm gonna keep picking. You see if we can get out through the back. We are so screwed.
I think it said shoot. We are so screwed.
I'm working.
Won't let you do anything else, I guess. It's locked. Something locked it.
Someone. We can go back upstairs?
Actually, no. We're just gonna get chased around in a circle. But whatever it is...
Whoever it is.
Dude.
And... got it.
We don't know where this is gonna go.
Got any better ideas?
Dude, clearly I don't. Spooks. Spooky sounds. And the spookiness. Spooky spook. They have an elevator that goes from the basement to the attic. Hydrate. Probably a good idea. pulling up on that 2.5 hour mark and a lot of Greg voice. Bernie. With no stops in between. What the actual crap?
Quick, let's find a way out. I found a window. I think there's a fire escape. Window doesn't open though.
Oh my god. What is this place?
Forbidden zone.
Are they starting like a weird art museum?
This is bad art.
This is weird.
It's art, dude.
What the? No. This is familiar. How do I know this?
Shit, dude. The elevator.
Why do I know this painting?
Dude, come on.
I think he just broke a window.
The elevator's coming back up. Hurry!
Uh-oh. Spooks. Spooks. Greg, where did you go?
The steps just ended. You gotta jump.
Ah. Ow. You believe me now?
I believe we almost got caught by a security guard or something.
No, I can like feel it.
Okay, fine. Ghost. Ghost security guard.
Sorry about all this. You crashed your bike, got mauled by an owl. Sorry. Got mauled by an owl.
Broke through a window and jumped off a fire. Dude, wasn't nothing.
You're a really good friend, Greg. Psh.
Crimes.
Crimes. Spooks. There's spooky number one. Bad art. Chased by a ghost. Greg rules okay. Oh, nope. Gotta see the adder. Hey, Dad.
Hey, you.
You okay? Yeah. Weird night. You look really worn out. Yeah.
Jeez, I am sore tonight. Need a back brace or something. How do you do it?
Do what?
Always running and jumping around all crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I'm really out of shape. I don't think I've ever been in shape.
I used to be, but that was because of my job. New job don't require much like that.
Yeah.
Heard you and your mom went on an adventure today.
Haha, yeah.
She talked about it all through dinner. You should, be home for dinner sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go to bed, you.
Will do. Can't talk to him no more? Alright. Night, Gator. Oh. Wanted to check on the clock. Spooky friend. No? Alright. Figured there'd be something there, but guess not. Oh, look. So right there's your tuba, or whatever it was, and your fire axe, and then your Dracula teeth are right here. And then that must be the pennant, I guess. Hey, Bee, you awake? I very much am. Doing bills and eating a grilled cheese. What's up? Went to the Historical Society? Oh, how was it? We were definitely chased around by a ghost. Really? Hold on, I'm texting Greg to confirm this. Why do you need to confirm it? Don't you trust me? Sorry, I need like a second opinion. Greg says it was probably a janitor or something. Okay, I'm going to bed. Don't go to sleep angry. You'll have bad dreams. Thanks. Good night, May. Hey. Yo. How are your shins? Oh, they're fine. I jump off second story fire escapes all the time. No, actually, they hurt like balls. So anyway, did you find what you were looking for? I think you found us. Dude, we found lots of stuff. The janitor that was working on the historical robot guy. Gregor! Listen, I know janitors exist, so that means there's like a zillion% more chance it was a janitor and not a ghost. I felt it, dude. I'm asking Angus if that could happen. He's not answering. Alright, I'm gonna get some sleep. Thanks for going with me tonight. Grimes, dude. Grimes. Hey. Alright, let's go to sleep. Bedtime? Yes. So we are getting towards like the end portion of the game, but we still have a lot to go. So it'll definitely be at least one more sitting of this. We're at 242. Ooh. I hope you can see that on the capture. This is a weird dream. There we are. I feel like we should be able to get up on that. Apparently we cannot. It's the Aurora Borealis. At least I can jump. Ooh, that's kind of spooky. Cool, but spooky. Maybe if it had like some ethereal music, it would just be beautiful, but it doesn't, so it's spooky. Hello? Can you talk?
Yes.
For some reason, you're the first thing I've thought to talk to. Are you God?
No.
No. So,
Seconds ago, little creatures are coming, and they are asking if I am God, and I am asking what God is, and they are telling me, and I am not this God.
if someone asks you if you're God, you say yes. He's clearly a cat of some sort, so he's God. Ask my cats, they're both God.
And this God is nowhere.
Well, you can't see God. Well, that's where faith comes in, I guess. My cat's an asshole. I've got one that is ridiculously lovey and has no other thought in her tiny little fluffy head than getting attention and love and scratches. And I have one that's way smarter than he needs to be. And he can be kind of a jerk. But he's my buddy. I absolutely love him. Well, you can't see God.
You are seeing what you are wishing, little creature.
So what am I doing here?
Monstrous existence.
No, I mean, what am I doing here? What are you? What are those other giant animals? Have I been seeing ghosts? Were there, like, bits of the world? I think I was on a train, but it was like a town. It's all... I lost it. I'm that way with dreams, too. I remember large chunks of my dreams, and then if I don't think about them, or if I think about them too hard sometimes, like, I just kind of lose the whole thing. Okay, so...
A great beast is walking through the sands, and they are climbing into the air. And now they are making a tear. And now they are gone. And now you are here.
A tear?
With their hooves, they are making a tear. Little creatures wandering through the air. And they are dragging in places and echoes of lives. And they are asking me about God.
My head hurts.
I am going to tell you something, little creature. You are swimming further and further out to sea. And beyond are things blind and terrible. And I am showing you now.
Oh no, I've got fleas! Don't they look like fleas? Did I ever play Spiritfarer? I don't believe so. Although the name sounds kind of familiar. Ah! Oh God! Oh God!
They are blind, but they are seeing you. And you are coming to them. After this, you are not returning here. I am climbing into the air and closing the sky.
Why?
I am tired of speaking with little creatures. I am tired of speaking of God.
Okay.
I will tell you a second thing. There is a hole at the center of everything, and it is always growing. Between the stars, I am seeing it. It is coming, and you are not escaping. And the universe is forgetting you, and the universe is being forgotten. And there is nothing to remember it. Not even the things beyond. And now There is only the whole.
So, does anything mean anything?
This is not a question worth answering.
Jeez, that's kind of rude.
I guess he's been kind of rude the whole time. They, he, she, they, it, whatever it goes by.
What about my home? What about my friends? What about the trees in the fall? What about the leaves? That seems more fleeting.
Their existence meaning nothing. You are atoms, and your atoms are not caring if you are existing. That is a weird thought.
It's kind of cute. You drive around in a boat and serve as EOL doula, but mostly by cooking, fishing, and hanging out with animals. That does actually poignantly sad. That does sound right around in my wheelhouse, like very much. I play games for, like, I don't just want to shoot 'em up. I don't just want to platform. I want to be told a story. I want to think. I want to experience something. Like, that's why I play games. So that does sound very much in my wheelhouse. I'll have to check it out. I'm sure that it'll go on sale on Steam eventually, and I will buy it for like $1.50 or something. I pride myself on doing that stuff.
Your atoms are monstrous existence.
And why am I here, goddammit? Why was I chosen to see all of this? Where is this going?
Little creature, you are not chosen. There is no one to choose you. This is going nowhere. We are not meeting again. And the universe is forgetting you. And I am remembering you, but not because I am caring.
What? There is one that I have in my library that's about like a kid in the hospital that somebody bought me as a gift. Like, they sent me a Steam gift for my birthday. They were like, this made me think of you, because I'm a nurse. And it's like a mom caring for a child as in a hospital or something. And so they sent this to me, and I was like, oh, thank you. It looks so sad. I'm never going to play it. But, maybe. We'll see. Also, this weird cat god is kind of a jerk.
But not because I am caring. The beginning is moments ago. The end is moments away. There is no time to forget before all is forgotten. Goodbye, little creature.
At least he has the... Oh, thank you. I appreciate your sub.
Goodbye, little creature.
I know what you mean. I've got that Prime sub anyway. Might as well use it on somebody, huh? I give mine to my friend Garrett. He's Rep Cats. He's a good stream too. And he does it much more frequently. Many hearts. Thank you, Mythman. Let's see what people have to say this morning after our crazy god dream. Morning. At the Pickaxe if you're in Town Center today. Oh, hi! I don't even know why I'm saying this. You're in Town Center every day. Anyway, see you later. Hey, dude. At the old Snoukin'. Come save me from boredom supreme. Sincerely, Gregory. We already read that.
Technology today. Turn-Up founder Mike Eggplant to buy postal service. I need to make it to more hash things, but I don't know. The ups and downs of normal life and between school and work and everything. It's hard to balance everything. And I'm an introvert, so I do need my own time. So when I do have a little bit of downtime, it's just like I want to just be. Like I need some quiet time. Interacting with people is wonderful, but it has limits. Like I do that for my job. I have to do it for school and everything, and I don't know. I just need some time on my own, and I have so little of it that it's hard to get to hash things. So sorry you haven't seen me around. Bird. I kinda get you now. All like trapped and shit. I should let you out. Nah. Your parents would probably be mad if you let it out. Hearts. Sometimes our plates are too full, and we just gotta do what we can to deal with it. Let's talk to our mommers. Honey, are you okay? Mornings are tough right now. Are you pregnant? No. Oh, honey, is that why you came home? No, not at all. Sweetie, you can tell me. I've been there. And despite nature's intentions, God came through and blessed us with you. You are a miracle, baby. That's me. A miracle. After all the miscarriages, we'd given up hope. And then there you were. And here I am now. So if you're pregnant, I'm not pregnant. I was not in a situation where pregnancy happens. Okay. I just want you to know that you can always come to us with this. Okay, noted. Can we please talk about anything else? Sure. You know, if you did have a baby. Okay, I'm out. Okay, sweetie. I'm sorry I get excited about grandbabies. It's fine. I'll be back later. Love you. Love you too. Eels? If it was a baby boy, you could name him Calvin. Oh, God, Mom. If it was a girl, you could name her Trash Baby. Cordelia. Why don't I just have a baby and hand it to you? Ooh. Okay, bye. I'm leaving. Boink, boink. Look what happened. We can go out here now. No more construction. I don't think there's really much out here to see. Oop. After this, a few miles and you go under the highway. And it's just rolling fields and farms. Missed the corn mazes this fall. And the haunted barn in Brittle. Always next year. For campfires and corn dogs.
Weird, the town ends like, bam, right here. There's like a line somewhere that no one can see. But you can put it on a map. Can I? Oh! Oh, trashy! Or rabies, excuse me. Hey, rabies! Who's a good little trash king? It's you. So tell me, rabies, what do you make of this ghost stuff? Sure is something, eh? Oh, yes, good point. I guess I don't entirely know what to think. Like, I feel it though. I wish everyone just believed me. Thank you, rabies. Your support means a lot. You're a good-ass possum, rabies. Alright, I'm off. Stay safe, eat some trash. And common pests. Aww, that's so cute! I don't think that I have ever gotten that before. Wouldn't let me jump down, though. Apparently I can't go down to the sewer anymore. Alright, let's go over here. Oh, what's this? Farming. I could farm. If I stay in town long enough, I could see getting into the farm life. The problem with farms is the amount of poop. Like, even if you don't have animals, you actually buy poop or something and shovel it all over the place. It's madness. It's poop madness. Fair. Smooshed a car. I think we get to see Mr. Cheskov today. I might break it before, since we're already at 3 hours, I might break it before we actually do the next haunted place. So maybe we'll just get everything out of the way and then we'll pick up next time and do the next haunted place because it goes pretty quick from there. So, let's see what Selmers has to say. Smelmers. I hate that name. I hate that nickname. Hey, May. You alright? Yeah, I guess. Why? You look like you went through the dryer on the wrong setting. Yeah. Long week is all. Want to hear a poem? Cheer you up. Yeah, of course I do. Life goes on. It feels so long. But I report, life is too short. Haha. Here's another happy one. Life is great, but life is hard. Let's grill hot dogs in the backyard. Thank you, Selmers. They cheer you up? They did. Yay! Chazakov's up there again. He ever, drop that telescope? Oh no, he'd cry his eyes out. He loves that thing more than his kid. He has a kid? Yeah, name's Colin. Visits every once in a while. Wasn't that one guy's name Colin? The one that we talked to out front of the house over a screen over that way. Seems like I talked to a Colin. He is hot as hell. You talked to him? Nah. He works at some university research place. He's not interested in this. Selmers. Yeah. They do karaoke at Miller's, but only twice a week. Should be every night. Remember she talked about karaoke? And you asked if you could come. Bad weather's coming soon. I feel it in my bones. You're making my dog anxious. And she poops a lot when she's anxious. Such a good line. I will reference that forever. Let's go down, see if there's a guy, if the guy's fishing or anything. Or maybe Rosa, Miss Rosa's over here. It's been a while since we've seen her, a couple days. Oh, the teens are down here, though. Hello, teens. So, like, are you always together?
Yeah, I guess.
That's cool. Friends are cool. Safer.
Safer?
Yeah, like the buddy system. Safety in numbers.
You're a little paranoid, you know that?
Kid, you don't even know. Anyone hear anything about anyone missing around here?
Yeah, actually. There's some girl I know online. She hasn't been on since Harfest.
Okay, well, I think we might need a bit more than that.
Okay.
Is she from here? I could ask my aunt.
Someplace called Mulvey.
Mulvey? You know someone from Mulvey? Yeah? You know where Mulvey is? You know what Mulvey is? No?
I heard about Mulvey. My dad drives a bread truck. Mulvey used to be one of his stops.
What happened?
He don't stop there no more. They had to pay some other guy to do it.
Sounds about right.
What's Mulvey? I'll take you out there this weekend.
Don't.
It'll be fine. We'll just drive through.
I need to get back in the sun now. That's a weird interaction. I like that they're like, oh, I have an online friend. She hasn't been online since Harfest, obviously. That's the person that's missing. And even May's like, I think we need a little more to go on than that.
So I says to her, Mabel, get off the dang table.
Ha 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 ha.
And she goes, why don't you just climb up here with me?
No way.
It's true, we both danced on that table, nearly broke the damn thing.
Somehow, I can't see it.
Well, you had to be there.
I really didn't.
Well, he's in better spirits.
Let's go up. Bunk, 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 bunk. Let's go up and talk to our guy who reads us the paper before I forget about him. Oh, we forgot to check in with Lori yesterday. What's in the news? Coyote wandered into a snack falcon out past Brittle. Just like, walked in. Yep, sat in a sandwich cooler. Did it eat a sandwich? According to this, Coyote just stared at the cashier. That's spooky. Coyote's a spooky animal. Fair enough. Hard barn. Pickaxe. Let's go up and see. Oh, oh, oh. There's some of our miracle rats. There's the guy. He's out there by himself now because the other girl left and went to Ham Panther. Let's go in and see Mom. There's Mommer. Hey, hon. Are you still having headaches? Yeah, but being out and about helps. Fresh air. Thanks for visiting me here, hon. It brightens my day. Feels weird being here today. Like, there's so much empty space. Come on Sunday, it'll be full then. I bet it is. Sorry you have to work because we have money problems. Maybe let's not talk about that in public or something. I guess there's nobody else around. May, I've always had a job. This is just another one. Gotta get back to work, sweetie. See ya, Mommers. See ya, daughters. Oh. Over here? Over here? Dang. We'll get there. Ha. Ooh. Let's see, maybe Pastor K's in here. They're back. Because there will be children here. This is a historical church. That's half empty. It's your job to fix, not ours. The population drain in this region. You have to know this place will never be full again. We have space, and we have people who need space. We have resources, and we have poverty. And not in some far-off place like some big city. Right here, right across the street. Katie, it's our #1 job right now to bring businesses to town. Businesses mean jobs, and jobs mean people. We have to do what we can to get the attention of the market. And having a half-dead church stacked full of bums. Thanks for your time. We'll see you for the vote tomorrow night. Thank you, Katie. You have a good heart, Kate. Thank you all for coming. Doesn't sound like it's going our way, does it? So she's really trying to have them practice what they preach, more or less, like help others out and whatnot from the church, which is unusual in this day and age, but she's trying to actually get them to help people that are in need, that really need it, and they're just like, no, that'll look bad, we have to bring in more jobs and stuff, and she's like, you're not going to get that because of the way that population dynamics are moving, and they're just like, no, this is what we're doing. It's a very real problem. Stressful day. Some days you need more grace than others. Was that all about Bruce? It was. Is. Whatever. It's out of our hands now. But there are better hands than mine. Anyway, how are you, May? Sounds serious. I guess. So, like, things have been rough lately? I can see that. What seems to be the trouble? I think I met God. What? It was a dream? I don't think it was a dream. I don't think it was a dream. Oh, wow. That happens, right? Or like, happened? Sure. Can you tell me about it? It seemed more like a desert to me. As far as I could see, where like all that was left of the world was bits of wood, sand, and I was wandering through it, but I was like drawn to something, and I came up over this. What do you call a hill made of sand? A dune. Yeah, a dune. And there was God, just sitting there, up on another hill. Or dune, whatever. Just hanging out. Yeah. Seemed like they were really into just hanging out. Did they say anything? Yeah. They, didn't care. They were kind of a jerk. They, didn't care. They didn't care if you were there. No, I mean they didn't care. In general. They went on and on about how annoyed they were that people kept coming to them with questions, and annoyed that anyone thought they were God to begin with. Well, I don't think that was God then. Why? If something tells you it isn't God, you should probably believe it. No, what I mean is, the thing we call God isn't God. It's just a thing, and it doesn't care. They kept talking about how nothing matters. Both things. This giant hole in the center of everything, it's growing. That sounds very lonely. Have you been feeling lonely lately? No. No, I mean, I've got friends. I've been with them every day since I got home. But, there's this deep down loneliness. Been there for years. Since, well, just been a long time. I've been there. I mean, I'm there all the time. I think that's where, if we open ourselves up, God can enter our lives most effectively. I guess. Sometimes that's the best you've got. Yeah. I feel like maybe that's not a good enough answer for you. Is that a good enough answer for anyone? Faith is a process. You have to keep getting up and choosing to go on. Do you really think there's a God? Like, literally, someone up there just listening? Is that something you completely believe? I don't know. Oh. On my best days, I think I do. But there are times where I don't. But you stand up there every Sunday and tell people you do. And even you're not sure? It's your job to believe. Well, I think it's more my job to serve others. But you're lying to people. How? You stand up there and tell people to believe in something that you don't 100% believe yourself. Maybe you're right, May. And maybe I should get up there every week and give some sort of tally of how much I believe that week. But who would that help? But you're a pastor, and you can't tell me whether or not God is up there? Whether anyone is watching? Anyone who gives a shit? No, but... Then what is the point of you? She already had a really hard day. That was a jerk move. And I've picked both things. It escalates a lot more quickly if you pick that you don't believe in God anymore. But apparently either way, you get back to yelling at her, which is not very nice. There's only so much you can control about these interactions, and this is part of what makes May feel like a real person. Like, she's a jerk sometimes. You know, we all are, even when we try not to be. I have to go. Okay. But that was really not a cool thing. Poor Pastor K. Oh, let's go check on Bruce. There are some days that he's not there, so... He's there today. See what he has to say. Hey, can you do me a favor? Sure. Can you tell Pastor Kate something for me? Sure. But don't tell her this till tomorrow. Can you do that? Sure. Tell her I said thank you. And I'm sorry I caused her trouble. But I'm not worth throwing away a job. She's the pastor, after all. Folks need her. Why am I telling her this? Are you leaving? Yup. Gonna hop a train tonight. Headed east. Where will you go? I'm going home. Wow, really? Never gonna touch a bottle again. Never gonna lift a hand to no man again. Sit on my daughter's front porch. Watch my big grandbabies play in the yard. I'll be there. Gonna get off that train. My kids are gonna be there. And they'll have a sign they made. Nothing fancy. Poster board and markers. Welcome home, Dad. And I'll be home. That sounds great, Bruce. Yup. Thanks for talking to me. It was nice to get to know you. You too, Bruce. Gonna miss you. We'll all meet again. Hope so. Hope's important. It's the last thing you got. You take care of yourself. You too, May. You got her name right. I'll be fine, you know. I'm an old hand at this. Maybe older than I ever should have gotten to. But I'll be fine. I'll see you around, Bruce. Goodbye, May. So... Bruce feels kind of bad, I think, that Pastor K went to bat for him. And then you can't talk to the pastor again. It's hard to tell if, like, there are parts of that that seem legit, but he says something like, they'll have a sign and it'll say welcome home, Dad, and all that kind of stuff. I'll show you. You can't talk to Pastor K again. That stuff seems very, like, he sees it in his head, but that's not gonna happen. Oh, Pastor K's even gone. Can't even talk to her. Or can't even see her. I don't think you can talk to Mom again either. Nope. Still can't go in here either. We'll get there. But it's interesting because I think that Bruce understands that she's a good pastor and she's trying to do good and right things and things that follow her faith very closely, but, like, there's more of our miracle rats. See him? Oh, this guy. Oh. Let's pretend like I didn't fall off. Hey! Hello. I'm May. Hello, May. I'm Salim. Are you a busker? Are you busking? What's busking? I don't know. I think it's when you play outside and people give you money. Are you going to give me money? No. Then I'm not busking. Cool. Alright. See you later. Yeah, Lori's up here. Ah, for heaven's sake. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Joe. that interaction is really awful. Like, I understand that May doesn't have the best grasp on things, and she's been having an especially hard time. She feels like that ghost is after her, and that he's also in her head and everything. And now she's seen what she feels is God, and that he doesn't care, and all that kind of stuff. And I understand that there was a lot going into that, but and it is very real, like a very real interaction. But man, it makes my heart hurt every time that I watch it because Pastor K is really a good person. Like, so sad. Hey kid, what you up to? Hey adult, nothing. Sounds good. Was gonna go down to the tracks. Did you want to come? Sounds good actually. Oh, good, good, good. Let's go. Totally let's. My friend Casey used to come out here and smoke. I used to smoke when I was younger. Oh really? Okay, it was once. I was younger though. I was 12. Good age to quit. I could vape. You could vape. I'm not gonna vape. Probably a good idea. So do you remember the last thing we squished on the, or do you remember the thing we squished on the tracks last time? Yeah. What are we doing? Gonna make it flatter? Kinda, but no. You'll see. I'm gonna pick a new thing to squish him with. Alright then. You know what we don't have around here? A taco place. Serial killers. Oh yeah. Hydrate. It's probably a good idea. I kind of have to pee. It's 3.5 hours in and I've drank 2 Diet Cokes. I mean, I'd vote for us getting a taco place first. But yeah, we never got around to getting our own serial killer. You ever think about murdering someone? Like, okay, so a few longest nights ago when I went to Bright Harbor with my aunt and cousin, and we went on the subway, and like, there's no railing down there above the tracks. And I had like this sudden urge to shove someone off of it. It was weird, and I felt guilty about it for a long time. But I didn't actually do it, so. I mean, is that normal? I think that's pretty normal. I guess you actually did try to kill someone. That was different. That was different. How? That was like not planned. And I wasn't trying to kill him. It was just a thing that happened. So, yeah. It wasn't like my first step on the way to serial killerdom. Sorry. Ah, trains. Oh, it makes me nervous. I don't like it. Being too close to trains makes me feel weird and scared. It's cool. You know what I like? Tacos? Pictures of the meteor that killed the dinosaur. Where the dinosaurs are like watching it in the sky. Oh, yeah. That's like every single picture of that meteor. Weird. Wonder if they knew. Ah, more trains. Ah, that would be so terrifying. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yay! Oh god, your little dudes are. It, like, hurts my soul. It speaks. The art speaks, May. It calls my name. Ah, that was cool. Yeah, it was. I gotta get going. Things are, like, hectic right now. Oh, what's up? Jeez. Just, like, be careful, okay? How so? Like, go home at dark. There's some bad stuff going on. Like what? Oh god, I don't even know where to start. Just like be careful. Alright. Thanks for the warning. About whatever you're warning me about. Don't mention it. Laters. That's interesting. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Ooh, wrong button. All of the buttons are wrong. Do we have anything else? Phew. Let's go see Germ real quick. There's more of our miracle rats. So many miracle rats. And then we'll probably go ahead and cut it. Because I'm at 3 hours and 30 minutes. They are slowly getting a little longer every single time. Did we talk to these guys? I think we did. We did. And we went up and talked to Ma. So the only thing that's left before we do our next thing is Germ, or at least I'm pretty sure it is. Oh no, Mr. Chazikov. We have to go see Mr. Chazikov, and then we'll cut it. I promise. I cannot stream this game forever, even though I would like to. I love this game. Oh, new people. Hey! Where they got run over by the train art. Hey, bae, what's up? Cool name. Gracias. Much obliged. Angel's just in town between trains. Going west. What? Going west next? Yeah, then south for the winter. Like a dirty birdie. Down to the Gulf. Lay in the sun. Eat me some crawfish. Actually, Angel, you might be able to answer a question. Shoot, bro. I'm just gonna make him a surfer dude. Have you heard anything about a ghost in town? Have you met anyone named Casey out on the rails? So remember, our friend Casey has jumped a train. Or at least we think he has. His parents have said that he's missing. Let's ask about the ghost, because I feel like that's more pressing. Angel has indeed. We were just talking about it before you got here. Really? Yeah, nobody ever stops here because of it. But I ain't superstitious. Out in the West Coast, I punched a cop, and I fought off his dog to keep half a pizza I found. Wow. Finding pizza is a criminal offense? Bro, whatever they say is a criminal offense is a criminal offense. But I digress. Ghost? Yeah, the dumb ones say the ghost grabs the good people, and I ain't good, so I ain't got nothing to fear. You feel me? Yeah. Good by what standard? Damned if I know, bro. But here's what I'll do. I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but I know there's God up there watching out for all their children down here. And I'll say 7 prayers for you. And that'll keep that nasty ghost at bay. Wow. Thanks. That's like sincerely very kind of you. Nah. It's a cold world, run by the worst people. And good men die for God knows what reason. We gotta take on like duties for one another, you know? Yeah. Thanks again. What's traveling like? It's good. It's good. Never could stay in one spot. I have, like, the exact opposite problem. Alright, partners. Time for me to shove off. See ya, Angel. Stay safe. Adios. Well, that's over. No fun. No fun. Something bad's coming. I know. It's a ghost, Germ. A real-life ghost. They aren't ghosts. Ghosts aren't a thing. How do you know? My brother would have visited. Aw. Jeez. Well, dinner time. See ya. Can I? Okay. For some reason, I thought you went with Germ today. Can't check that anymore. Okay. Last thing. Chazkov. And then we'll cut it. I promise. Bounce. 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 Of course, he has to be all the way across town. Then we'll have to decide who we're doing for the last one. I wonder if there's anything that checking like the in the apartment complex does. I've never done that regularly, so maybe we'll do that before we pop over. Bounce, 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 bounce. Why are you lagging, game? It's definitely lagging. It's probably easier just to go to the other side. You can get on from that screen, but it's unnecessarily hard to get on from that screen. Oh, I can't climb that tree. It's this tree. Whoa. Bring, bring, bring. There's Mr. Chazikov. Wish I would have remembered it when we were up here earlier. Spooky clothes. Why did you not make that jump? Let's watch the other screen. Bounce. Bounce. Alright.
May.
Mr. Chazikov!
You look a bit worse for wear today, May.
Oh, I'm fine. Made it up here, didn't I?
Watch yourself, lest you fall.
Will do.
Here to see some stars?
You know it.
Come have a look.
Ah!
She didn't actually say anything.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. This one? Yep. I think I got one.
Let us see. Cole, the mountaineer.
Cole. I knew a guy named Cole once. That's close.
It is.
So what's up with this guy?
Cole was from a flat land.
This Midwest.
Yes, it is the Midwest. Whatever the Midwest of wherever he was from was.
Every place has a Midwest.
This is true. He dreamed of mountains and devoted his life to climbing them.
Because his hometown was flat?
Isn't this a common instinct? To seek that which is unlike where one grows up.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, people go to the city a lot. Like, they move there because it's got stuff, and there's more people like them, maybe. Sucks, though. Not everyone can just up and leave.
When I left my country, I felt the same thing. But I have not regretted it.
You like Possum Springs?
It is beautiful. In ways perhaps invisible to those who have seen it every day of their lives.
So what happened to Cole?
He returned home and complained that the sky felt heavy. He had been up into the clouds, and now they rested hard upon him.
That's a really specific complaint.
When one leaves a place, one brings something back when one returns. One. That's true. I feel like I grew and became like a better person as I moved around. I lived out on the East Coast for a while, and I really do think that it helped me become who I am now. Kind of brought something back with it.
Oh. This one? No, maybe this one? Haha! Gotcha!
Oh, which one is this? I don't remember this one. Adina Astra. You know this one?
Yes, I know this one!
It's a common story. How Adina journeyed to the frozen lake. How she traversed unknown faraway lands.
I was very into Adina stories when I was a kid.
So you must know what became of her.
Yeah.
How she, in her quest, turned her back on the sky and journeyed down into the earth, where her stars were no longer over her head, and how she was never seen again.
Yeah. Whatever.
Is that not a sad ending?
Yeah, I mean, she probably died. No, disappearing isn't the same as dying.
That's a very philosophical question.
Cats, please be nice to one another. Hey. I have a spray bottle.
Sorry. From how she reacted earlier, I'm gonna go with this one.
She probably went somewhere else completely and did all kinds of cool shit.
Oh my.
Yeah, so, whatever.
Oof. That's all for today.
That was nice.
I think that she kind of feels like her hero did not die, which is kind of nice.
Pretty sweet. I mean, the stars, I mean.
I am in agreement.
Ooh, wrong one. No.
Alright. So that's where I'm going to end it tonight. I have been recording for a very long time, almost 4 hours. 3 hours, 42 minutes. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. I really enjoy it. This is kind of the highlight of my week at this point. I really like to share these kinds of games with people, and this has been, it started kind of as like a fluky thing, and I've enjoyed it so much that I am glad that you guys are all here. I'm glad that if you're, hanging out, thanks.
Aw, thanks, Airguard.
You think that my voices are great? I think they're terrible, but I try real hard.
Night. Have a good night.
Aw, thanks, guys. I do really appreciate you hanging out and coming around and stuff, so. Enjoy the rest of your Halloween. You have 15 whole minutes left if you're in the central time zone like I am.
And I will see you at least next Sunday. I will update my schedule on my actual site. I try to keep that updated. I might try to do one on Thursday because Tuesday I might be busy, which is my normal extra stream day. So I might do Thursday, but it will definitely be up on the schedule so that you can see it whenever I stream, and then it should send you an announcement if you if you've followed me. So thank you all so much. I will see you next week at the same bat time, same bat channel, all that jazz. Happy Halloween!